Today, we're diving into what it really takes to create an all-electric home. We're going to follow one homeowner's actual journey step by step to see how you go from relying on fossil fuels to building a clean energy future right in your own house.
So let's just start with the big question right off the bat. Could your home go all electric? It sounds simple, but there's a lot packed into that idea. And the best way to understand it is to follow someone who's actually doing it.
All right, so every journey has a beginning. And for this story, our starting point is with a homeowner named Alex in Denver who decided to take on this exact challenge and show us how it's done.
So here's the lowdown on Alex's place. It's a pretty typical home, 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms. Not some ancient, drafty house, but a modern home. And here's the key detail, the real heart of the issue. Its main energy source is natural gas. This makes it the perfect before picture for, honestly, millions of us whose homes run on fossil fuels.
So you have to ask, why would anyone take on what seems like a massive, probably expensive project like this? What was the catalyst? Let's get into the real motivation to make a change this big.
Well, for Alex, it really boiled down to two main drivers. On one hand, you have the environmental side of things, a real desire to shrink that personal carbon footprint. But it wasn't just about ideals. On the other hand, there was a very practical financial goal, the shot at long-term savings, especially when you think about how wild energy prices can get.
Okay, so we've got the why locked down. Now for the really interesting part, the how. Let's take a look at the actual roadmap, the game plan for going all electric.
The goal itself sounds almost deceptively simple, right? The plan is to replace every single major system in the house that runs on gas with a new electric alternative. Easy to say, but, as we're about to see, way more complicated to actually pull off.
The whole project was really broken down into 3 core moves. First up, the biggest energy hog in the house, the HVAC system. That meant swapping the old gas furnace for a super efficient electric heat pump, which handles both heating and cooling. Next on the list, the water heater, another big gas guzzler, getting replaced with an efficient heat pump model. And finally, the kitchen gets a makeover, trading the gas stove for a sleek, high-performance induction cooktop.
But the vision didn't just stop with the appliances inside the house. The bigger picture was even more ambitious. We're talking about replacing the gasoline car with an EV, and then the ultimate game changer, installing rooftop solar panels. This was never just about swapping out machines. It was about creating a whole, self-sustaining, clean energy ecosystem for the entire home. Now, let's be real, a project like this does not happen overnight. Alex laid out a really practical 1 to 3 year plan. Year 1 was all about research, getting quotes, talking to experts. Year 2 was for the heavy lifting, the major appliance upgrades. And Year 3 was for the final pieces and just fine-tuning the whole system. This is definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
Of course, a journey like this is never just a straight line, is it? It's so important to be realistic about the obstacles you're going to face and figure out how to navigate those real-world hurdles.
So, what are we really talking about here? What are the biggest roadblocks standing in the way of making this all-electric dream a reality? Let's break them down.
Turns out there were 3 major concerns. First, and this is the big one, the high upfront cost of all these new appliances. Second, a huge technical challenge. The home's electrical panel might not be powerful enough to handle all the new electric load, and upgrading that can be really expensive. And third, you have the human element, finding contractors who actually know what they're doing, and then trying to sort through that confusing maze of government rebates. These are not small problems.
So with all those challenges, what's the end goal? What makes it all worth it? Let's talk about the destination, what this home of tomorrow actually looks like. Honestly, Alex's vision really captures the whole spirit of the project perfectly. The goal is a home that not only runs entirely on clean electricity, but also generates some of its own power. It's about creating a home that's resilient, sustainable, and truly ready for the future.
And I think it's so important to remember, this isn't just about one house or one person's project. Alex's journey is really a reflection of a much larger, growing movement of people who are deciding to leave fossil fuels behind and build a cleaner future, one home at a time.
So we'll leave you with this. After seeing the whole plan, the motivations, the hurdles, the question really comes back to you. What does the future of your home's energy look like?